Sometimes acknowledging the actions of your group members can be a real drag, especially when others start investigating what the definition of your group is. Don't worry, you're in for a real treat. Regressive's got you covered with the No True Scotsman. Don't let your opponents pinpoint your problems. Move the goalposts so they miss their target. Add reactive, subjective, on-the-spot criteria to the subject you're trying to protect. With your newly modified meaning, your people always end up looking good. How can a group be culpable when by definition, they cannot be culpable?
You know this thing called ISIS, buddy?
Yes, they're not Muslim.
Apparently they are.
Nope, ISIS aren't Muslim. Anyone who's in the religion of Islam, anyone who kills anyone is considered not a Muslim. They're not a Muslim at all. They're not Muslim at all.
Al-Qaeda's cause is not Islam.
ISIL is not Islamic.
And that's the correct response when we see ISIS burn somebody alive and say they're doing it in the name of Islam. That's not Islam.
Saving face on your flawed belief systems has never been easier. It's simple. If you want, just pick a word from our list of lazy adjectives like actual, real, or true. Then you can start salvaging the wreckage of your refuted assertions by conveniently deciding which examples are actually truly real and which examples are not really actually true.
That's why it's so important that a lot of people, especially a lot of Muslims, are spending a lot of time trying to set the record straight, trying to teach people what Islam really is to replace all that misinformation.
Police burning hell. British police burning hell. Yeah, because no real Muslim wants anyone to burn in hell.
Sometimes this way of speaking is more of a linguistic convention than it is fallacious, but ultimately, if you're using weak descriptors like actually, really, and truly, chances are there's a more informative way to describe your subject. This handy-dandy fallacy could also be called an appeal to purity. Its users try to deny a common link in a group because it fulfills only part of their own often subjective definition. Unfortunately, some of our detractors have started getting wise to our tactics.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the current so-called caliph of ISIS, who has a PhD in Islamic studies. The response is, are you kidding me? He's no true Muslim.
We've already had 100 years of that. We saw what happened. Oh, well, that doesn't matter. That wasn't real Marxism. That's what the bloody Marxists always say. That wasn't real Marxism. It's like, oh, how many millions of people have to die before you're convinced that it's real Marxism?
I don't think feminists who have been quoted saying we should put men in concentration camps are feminists that want equality. There are different types of feminists.
I don't think there's different types of feminists.
No, so would you say the feminists who say I want equality for both genders and one that says I want women to be superior are the same?
No, they're not feminists.
That's the No True Scotsman fallacy.
Luckily, we offer many other plans and services. Make sure you bundle them with your No True Scotsman, should it ever fail. At Regressive, we understand how important it is to obliterate categories, numbers, words, and meanings. While most try to move the goalposts to make it difficult to score goals, others try to broaden the goalposts to cheapen every goal scored.
Well, bin Laden's not really a Muslim. Yeah, well, I wish that were true, but unfortunately it's not. He is a Muslim just like I'm a Muslim, just like anybody else who says he's a Muslim is a Muslim.
A Muslim is whoever says he's a Muslim.
ISIS is Islamic because it says it's Islamic. A Muslim, by definition, is whoever says he's a Muslim. As simple as that.
Simple as that. You hear that, Michael Moore? You're a Muslim now too. Heck, everybody's a Muslim. This is great news. If there's something that we can all agree on, it's that everybody's opinion/definition is equally valid. It's a bit like if a doctor prescribes Lipitor, and his definition of Lipitor is a bunch of LSD. Still though, it'd be nice if there were some unifying factor, some shared attribute, some common link between all these things. Wait a minute. Feminism, Black Lives Matter, La Raza get up to quite a bit of hijinks, but they have no singular central doctrine, whereas Islam does and can be largely defined by its central texts, and its followers by their adherence to them, as variable as they may be. So, who are the real Muslims? Are they the 1 in 3 Somalians who are mentally ill? Are they the wealthy Saudis that made atheism an act of terrorism? Are they Boko Haram, who surpassed ISIS kills in 2014? Or are they the tens of thousands within the Taliban, Hamas, Hezbollah, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jabhat Fatah, or yet another branch of Al-Qaeda? Are they the half of all British Muslims who think being gay, not gay marriage by the way, being gay should be illegal? Or just the 10 or so countries where it is illegal, fatally so? Or just some of the Western Muslims who think suicide bombings against civilians can be justified? Are they the products or practitioners of sanctioned first cousin marriages creating multi-generational inbreeding that continues to accumulate massive, large-scale genetic damage? No? Well, sure are a lot of fake Muslims out there, and they all seem to think they're Muslim. Strange. Almost as though there are parts of books in parts of people's heads that specifically manifest themselves in the external world. You know, that's starting to sound a bit ugly. No true liberal would make such oppressive observations. That's not the way to peace and love. Liberals and their social justice warriors know the way. After all, this peace is what all true warriors strive for.
I say the whole world must learn of our peaceful ways. By force.
If our peaceful religion of cultural Marxism could just prevail already, then the most peaceful religion of all, the religion of peace, could finally become part of our tolerant, all-inclusive moral tapestry. No actual liberal, no real feminist, and no true Muslim should leave home without the no true Scotsman. We know this much is true. Now that's regressive. Call or click today.
I can't believe they're hanging out.
Maybe she'll be a good influence on him.
Or maybe he'll corrupt her.
It won't last. Brothers and sisters are natural enemies, just like Christians and Muslims, or atheists and Muslims, or Buddhists and Muslims, or Muslims and other Muslims. Damn Muslims, they ruined Islam.
You Muslims sure are a contentious people.
You just made an enemy for life.
What the entire point of this faith was, as the Prophet Muhammad himself preached, and that is social justice.